morning everyone, welcome to Friday the 15th of January 2026. So today's walk we will be visiting three different locations. The first one is Pennan, which is set itself in Hollywood history. I'll let you know more about that once we get there. I've actually parked at the top of a hill up here. I'm going to drive down because, as you can see, it's a fair walk to get down there, and there is no actual walk, there's only a road. So I'm going to be driving down, and the next one after Pennan is Gardenstown. Now I'll be parking up in Gardenstown and walking to a place called Crovie. It's actually spelled Crovie, but it's pronounced Crovie. So what we'll do is we'll jump back in the car. I'll drive down the hill into Pennan, and I'll let you know just why Pennan is part of Hollywood history. So let's go. Okay, so that was a short drive down the bottom of the hill here to Pennan. So I'll turn the camera around so you can see where we are. So this is Pennan. It's basically just a row of cottages along the front here, and it has a small harbour and the Pennan Inn. Now, why is it part of Hollywood history? In 1983 there was a film made here which starred Burt Lancaster, famous Hollywood actor. That was all about an American oil company that wanted to buy Pennan to put an oil refinery here. So what they did was they sent an oil executive over to stay here to coerce the villagers here into selling all their properties so they can build the oil refinery. The executive that was sent over actually stayed in this hotel in the film, so he was in there. This telephone box is probably the most famous part of why Pennan is famous, is because this telephone box is the one that was used by the oil executive to phone his boss in America to tell him that it wasn't a good idea to actually use Pennan for the oil refinery. So this is why it was actually part of Hollywood history. So we'll take a walk along to the harbour here. Other people that were in the film was John Gordon Sinclair, Jonathan Watson, Fulton Mackay. So that's the only ones I can remember. Obviously Burt Lancaster was in the film as well. It is a lovely day for a walk. It's about 1 or 2 degrees, there's very little wind, and blue sky, a little bit of cloud. Yes, it is a bit chilly, but you are in the northeast of Scotland. So what we'll do is we'll walk along, right along to the end here. Now most of these cottages along here, people do live here, but quite a few of them are actually holiday cottages as well. It's a bit slidey underfoot here. It is very frosty this morning. As you can see, the water in the drain is frozen over with ice. So I'm not sure if I'd actually want to live here. It'd be great to come here for a holiday to get away from everything else. Phone reception here is pretty poor, as you would imagine. You're kind of isolated from everything else. There's no shop or anything here, so you'd have to travel either into Fraserburgh or head towards Banff Macduff. I like to say most of the cottages here are probably holiday homes. It's a lovely calm day today. It looks like this corner here got battered with the waves and the wind coming in. That's the village hall. I imagine they'd have things going on there like say Burns Night and New Year and Christmas and stuff for the holiday makers and the locals. And as you can see on the sign here, it says local hero Pennan. So this was part of the film as well. So that's a good view of the village from here. So we'll head back to the car now. We'll head back up the hill and we'll head to Gardenstown. So from Gardenstown I'll park up there and walk from Gardenstown to Crovie. Now it's going to be a bit of a walk. It's going to be probably one of the most challenging of walks. It's one of the hills is probably about that size that I'll have to walk up to get to the top and then walk back down the other side to get to Crovie, and also have the same on the way back. But we'll see what it's like. Like I say, it's a bit of a challenge, but I should be alright with it. So that is Pennan for you, and let's make our way to Gardenstown now. It looks like they must repaint these cottages quite often because the majority of them are very clean. I don't know if I'd like that as a backdrop to my house though. With a heavy rainfall, the water must come pouring down there. Cottage up on the hill up there. And that's what you call isolation. You have a great view from up there. Okay, so that's us driven to Gardenstown, which is only about 10 minutes from Pennan. I was planning on walking from here to Crovie, which is that village along there, but I'm just not sure where the path is to get there, because I can't walk up there. I'm not sure if that's something along there, so we'll have a walk along there first. But with the way the water is, it doesn't look like I can get along there, but I'll have a quick look. If not, it'll be a change of plan. We will have a walk around Gardenstown, jump back in the car, drive to the top of the hill, and then walk down the hill into Crovie and back up again. Now with Crovie, you can't get your car in to the village. There's just no road. It's not wide enough for a road. You'll see better once we get down there, but you've got to park your car halfway up and then walk down. So I think that's probably the better plan, as opposed to trying to find a path to get to Crovie from here. I don't fancy scaling up there. So we'll walk along the interior anyway and see what's along here. So the braes above the snook path are at risk of landslip. These events are unpredictable. Now the snook path, I think that's the path I need to find, which looks like it might actually be here. I can see a set of steps. So we'll walk along the beach here, see if we can get through this bit here. Not sure how far the tide comes in, if this is high tide or not. Doesn't look like it comes in much further than this. So I'm assuming this is the snook path. You can see what they mean about landslides. You want to be walking here when it's raining. So that's Gardenstown. There, where the car's parked, and if you carry on around the coast there, eventually takes you to Banff and Macduff. And if you've seen my previous video for Cullen Bay, which actually isn't in Cullen, so I'll head up these stairs. That's Crovie village there. So let's see what looks like. Oh, I thought I actually had to walk up the top of the hill to get back down again. I don't, I can actually walk right along the coast here. That makes life so much easier. That was a good find. There's a very small waterfall here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it in the camera or not, but that's the stream, and that's where it's coming from. So you can imagine with the snow melting and a bit of rain, that'd be a decent waterfall. Surprised there's only one. I'm not sure what this is here. Boil ahead from the SS for Jaunt. Very difficult to read that. Can't even read it without the camera. So as I was saying earlier, you're not allowed to bring your vehicles down here because there's just not a road. That is the only place a vehicle can come, and also for workmen and food deliveries and stuff, and also for emergency services. But once you get past that first row of houses there is no road. So you'll see that as I'm carrying on, and we'll walk right to the very end where I know there is a bench where we can sit down and have a 5-minute break. So if you had a food delivery basically, or if you had to bring stuff back to your house from going your own grocery shopping, you'd have to park here, which is limited access, and somehow get your food all the way to that cottage at the end. It's a bit of a trek with your shopping, so you'd have to have some sort of trolley. So there is a car park halfway up that hill, and there's also one way up the top up there. We'll take a drive there once I've been to Gardenstown, and I can show you that as well. So that is the end of the road. As you can see, it's not wide enough to get a car here. The houses are right up against the side of the cliff. I'd imagine everyone's got a trolley here. So that's a kind of a small harbour there. And you've got to wonder who lives here, because you'll probably find that the people that do live here were probably born in these houses, along with their parents and their grandparents and stuff. Apart from the holiday cottages obviously. But if you were to have something serious happen medically, they'd probably have to helicopter you out. Or even if there was a house fire, how are they supposed to get a fire engine to put the house fire out? There's just nowhere for the fire engine to go. Alright, you see there's a workman doing work on this house here, and he's got his trolley. There's a strange place for a phone box. So if you were to park, there's a bit of a stream with the water coming down from the hills. Probably the one and only post box in the place. I'm doing some work on the beach here. Probably try to dig out some rocks so that it makes the water a bit deeper so you don't get hit with the waves so bad. So you've got all these nice wee cottages here. I would say the majority of them are probably holiday homes. You can imagine that these cottages along here will be open to the elements. Looks like that mermaid cottage here, that's probably a holiday home. And in the distance there, that's where the car's parked at Gardenstown. As you can see, all these villages are built into the side of the hills, right on the coastline. All these windows are all boarded up, so again this is probably another holiday cottage. And here's somebody coming with a wheelbarrow or a trolley. Some of these places look like they need a bit of work. Single glazing. You can't see there being much heating in there. I'm not sure what kind of heating it would have, to be honest. Probably just a coal burner. Yep, everybody's got trolleys outside their house. I don't think that one's been used for a while though. There's a wee pussy cat. Now there is a bit of a walkway up there, but yeah, I don't want to be going up there. And this is the seat I was talking about, right at the very end. I'll sit here and have a drink of water. In memory of Joan for her many years of service to King Edward and Gambray Community Council. You see the water dripping in through the ground, in through the rocks. Let's see, there's only that one waterfall along there. I think there'll be a lot more. Oh, so there's the road there. You can see the Asda food delivery van going up. Just as it passes the bend, there's a car park on the left hand side, and the other car parks up at the top. So we'll go back the way we came, we'll have a walk around Gardenstown, we'll jump back in the car, we'll head up to that car park at the top, and you'll be able to see Crovie from the top of the hill, which is where I thought we were going to have to come walk up to and back down again. So it's starting to head back along now. I've had to put my jacket on, it is a bit breezy down here, so it's a bit cooler. Now if you're going to be coming here for say 2 weeks and you had a fair bit of luggage with you, having to park at that car park halfway up the hill and having to bring your luggage all the way down here, and even worse on the way back, that would be a bit of a pain in the backside. So you can probably just make out the path that we just walked along, that we're heading back towards again, along the bottom of the cliff there, along the coast. And some dolphins out in the bay. Can't believe it, I've just seen dolphins. So just saw 4 or 5 dolphins out in the bay. I'm kind of hoping as I walk along the path they may come in a bit closer. I can't see them now. I tried to get them on my phone, but I'm not sure if I've got them or not. So there's a seal out here in the bay. He obviously sees me, he's looking across at me. I'm probably not sure what to make of it. Back in Gardenstown again. Took about 15 minutes to get there, 15 minutes to get back. Nice easy path. Not as challenging as what I thought it was going to be, which was excellent. So what we'll do now, I'm still looking out for these dolphins but they've disappeared. We'll have a walk around Gardenstown, film a little bit in here and show you a bit of Gardenstown. There must be lockups for the people that are in the village. I don't think anyone uses that caravan anymore, or even these boats. So there is a couple of shops and stuff around here, I'm not sure what they are. Ellie's Gallery, I don't even know what that is, probably an art gallery or something. There's people knitted fish. And a mermaid. Yeah, it's a coffee shop. It's all closed up. It's probably open at the weekends. And an old tricycle made into a plant stand. So this way takes you around to the harbour. The Gamry gift shop, that's also closed up. I'd imagine in the summertime the opening hours will be a lot more than what it is in the winter time. And there's all your knitted stuff as well. Must be an old granny here that knits everything. A couple of old boats, obviously the Jack the Lad doesn't see the water anymore. It's very quiet about here. And at the top of the hill there, that's the community hall. I think it's also a church. So according to the sign up here, it is a working harbour, so commercial fishing vessels do come in here. I always like walking about these wee fishing villages. It's always where I wanted to live as a boy. Got the lobster pots, they're all brand new, never been used. Like a pyramid. So this is Gardenstown Harbour. A lot of these boats just seem to be sitting there, not being used. Walk up the end here, and there's the other side of Gardenstown along there. These are the cranes that they use to take the fishing boxes off the boats. It's got a fairly new rope on it, so I'm assuming they still get used. And there's the sun trying to come out again, which is good. 1878 in memory of his mother's mother, Emma Margaret. His mother's mother, such his grandmother then, Emma Margaret Brickstock, who died August 20th, 1876. So it's a gravestone. And then we'll go up here, being careful not to fall off the edge. And there's Crovie again in the distance. This is the bay that I saw the dolphins. There's no sign of them now though. And there's Gardenstown. That's the Tower of Crab Pots again. Some public toilets. A mural on the wall. And this is the Gardenstown Heritage Centre, which also looks closed as well. It's a history of the fishing, the folk and the village. And they've still got their Christmas tree up. I think they need to take that down. Garden Arms Hotel. It's got a beer garden. There's something about Gardenstown Harbour. And the Margaret Rose. I'll go up these steps here. There's a house for sale. This is a plaque telling us about Crovie, or as it says here, pronounced Crovie, not Crovie. There was a major storm here that washed away all the sheds, the garages, footpath linking Crovie to Gardenstown, which is the one we just walked along. Much of the seawall from the west, which is here. So we actually came in the seawalls along this bit here. We walked along here. That's a wee bit of harbour that was there, and we walked along here. And this is the white cottage that we sat down on, on the seat next to it. So it'll be in this area here that's probably been washed away because the footpath is along this bit here. So as you can see, if you want to come here and you don't know about the park, which I didn't know about, this is the village here. So that's the village down there, and the path we walked along was down the bottom, down there. I was going to see the dolphins again today. So it's a bit of a walk, to be honest. But now I've found an easier way to get there. I might do it again. So if you were to park here, this is where you would walk. You come out the car park and turn down left. And as it says on the sign, residents and authorised vehicles only recommended beyond this point. And that kind of makes sense, because people that have got holiday cottages and stuff down there, when it's summer they don't want to have to get back to their cottage and find there is no parking spot for them. So be a bit respectful. So that is the end of today's walk. We've been to Pennan, Crovie, which is behind me, and Gardenstown, which is to my right. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's been a nice pleasurable walk. It wasn't as challenging as I thought it was going to be, which was great. Don't know what I'll do next, I'm not sure, there's so much to see about here. But keep watching, I hope you enjoyed it, like I say, and keep your eye out for the next one coming. See ya, bye.